We are live. What is happening, gentlemen?
Hey.
That's what's happening.
What's going on? Thanks, everybody, for being here. This is Inside Straight. I just want to introduce the gentleman real quick. You already know and you love him. And that's Carl Allen right next to me, right here. The great Carl Allen, coming to you from Brooklyn, New York. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And then on the other side of Carl is Mr. Warren Wolf, coming out of the great city of Baltimore, Maryland.
What's happening?
And then we got Steve Wilson in the lower right, coming to you from New York City. And we have Christian McBride, the originator, the OG of Inside Straight, coming out of Montclair, New Jersey, at an undisclosed location. Thank you guys for being here. This was my way of just getting together with you guys, and I decided to invite some other folks to kind of watch us get together. And I miss you guys so much. I miss this band, and I was just thinking, you know, we got no plans, so I'm just looking forward to this time with you guys. But I thought it might be cool for any of the folks that are here that don't know and haven't had the pleasure of getting to see Inside Straight play before. I was thinking, Christian, maybe you could kind of just go back in time to your original concepts on this band and how it came about, and the history of it and all that kind of good stuff.
Sure. 2007. Well, actually, let me go back a year. About 2006. I went to the Village Vanguard to hear somebody else play, and I was just there hanging out. And while I was there, I realized that I hadn't played the Vanguard in about 10 years. And as a jazz artist, I thought that's a no-no. Got to play the Vanguard. And so I spoke to Lorraine Gordon, rest in peace, Lorraine. And I said, Lorraine, I really would love to play here again. And she basically said, you can play here anytime you want, but I know what kind of band you play with now, and you ain't bringing them. You got to bring another band. And I said, all right, I got you. So the end of 2007, I called like the hired guns, the go-to cats. You know, that would be Carl, Steve, Eric Reed played piano on that gig, and this young man that I had met in Aspen, Colorado for the summer camp in 2000, who just knocked my socks off, and that was Warren Wolf. So that was like his, was that your New York coming out party?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so, December, not December, but that was in the fall of 2007. And I remember Bruce Lundvall came to one of the sets that week. And, even though I never recorded for Blue Note, I actually never really did that many sideman dates on Blue Note either. Bruce pulled me aside. He said, "Hey man, I don't know what your plans are, but if you can, you need to try to keep this band together. This band is something special." And so Bruce liked the band a lot. All the cats in the group seemed to like it a lot. And the following year, we recorded Kind of Brown, and that's how it happened.
Yeah.
And Peter, you pretty much been Eric played that gig with us at the Vanguard, and we did one gig in Brazil right before we went to Berkeley, California. Well, we played the Monterey Jazz Festival, and then we went into the studio to do Kind of Brown. And you pretty much been in the seat ever since. Eric never did any gigs with us after the record came out. So, yeah, man, you've been driving that piano seat since 2008.
Well, that diabolical plan I had to kidnap Eric, he was very safe, and I fed him well. He had like cable TV. He said he needed a little hiatus anyway, but it kind of worked out in my favor, I have to say.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Kind of Brown came out, and actually I was looking for it, and I just remember where it is, because I actually have the LP. I mean, not like I bought it when I was in high school or anything, but I think you gave it to me when I was at your house, Christian, at one point. But that's such a great album, and I think it's, it's such a I love these albums, and usually it takes a little time. You got to go back to see like when a band is born, kind of a thing.
Right.
Because I think when you're there, and we've all been in different situations, this one and other situations, where it feels kind of special. But sometimes like a group will come together and you play once, and you're like, man, I love this. We got to do it again, and everybody hugs. And then it's like 20 years later, it never happened.
Right.
Just because of circumstances. But I mean, did you guys have a feeling when on that first Vanguard gig and like making the record and stuff that this was going to be something that had a possibility for some longevity and that would be more than just a shake hands when you leave?
I definitely thought so.
Mm.
No, I mean, it clicked right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And with Christian and Carl, because of their long history together, man, I mean, it was like this. And so that really, that was like the engine. That it just, everything took off. And Warren and I had actually worked before the band. We went on tour with Mulgrew Miller. I think that was your first time in Japan, right, Warren?
Yep.
And man, I was like, when I first heard Warren on that gig, I said, "Who was this cat, man?" Because I mean, it's just phenomenal. And so when we hit the Vanguard, everything came together. Because first of all, it's the Vanguard,
right?
And the energy was there, and the crowd was there, and then all the cats came out. I mean, it was the complete setting, man. So you knew that this was going to have some legs well beyond that week.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, when we did the first rehearsal, I had not met Warren prior to then. And so, Steve, I remember you and I were there, and Warren was there, and I hadn't seen Marcus in a while. And I'm like, I wonder if that's Marcus. And Warren didn't say, I'm Warren or nothing. And he just sat there all kind of quiet. I'm like,
Marcus who?
So then, of course, when McBride came, it was like, oh, then that's when I knew who he was. I was like, I didn't know, because he didn't say nothing, remember?
Yeah, he was setting you up, man.
Yeah, right.
No,
Warren is like, for real, Marcus who?
Oh.
Who's
Steve's son, Marcus.
Yeah, my son.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, who's Marcus?
He's like, Marcus Miller, Marcus Gill, Marcus Allen. Well, I think it's such an interesting, as the band has evolved over the years, like these connections. I think all of us were connected with, each other in some ways, but some of us less so, except through you, Christian, and like you kind of had your own history with all of us, and basically every other jazz and any other kind of musician on the planet as well, as we found out. But it's like, you and Carl, as Steve said, that has been such a rhythm section, bass drum, force for so many years that it always felt to me like from the first time I played with this band, like that it had the kind of foundation that was like, it was almost like before a first note was played, you already know that it was there. And so even though like, Warren was new, and I knew Steve a little bit, but Steve was somebody that was always on like my radar to like, if I make it to the promised land, Steve Wilson's going to be there and I'm going to be comping behind him, he's just, he's one of those musicians. And so, it's a very interesting kind of amalgamation of different worlds and stuff. And, I mean, was that something, Christian, that you were thinking of? I know you always were talking about how, like, once you met Warren, you were like, not necessarily thinking about a group with vibes, and then you're like built it around that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, a couple of things happened. By the time we did that gig at the Vanguard in 2007, my primary band had been what we called the C&B, the Christian McBride Band, which, Peter, you played in that band a few times also, with Ron Blake on tenor, Terry Gully on drums, and Jeff Keyser played piano and keys in that band. And to oversimplify that band, we got defaulted as a fusion group because, I played both electric and acoustic bass. Keyser played a lot of keyboards, So, we got labeled as like this poor man's weather report, And I had also been playing with Matheni's trio, and I had also been playing with Sting. So I was playing these gigs where there was a lot of amplification going on, a lot of power, a lot of AC power being used. And I think by the time we did that Vanguard gig, I really wanted to just I wanted to get back to ground zero. I wanted to play some real nice, right down the middle, swinging, straight ahead stuff with the best cats I could possibly think of. And I was real fortunate that the best cats I could think of are all the people on this call. Now, I met Warren, as I said earlier, when he came to Aspen. And I mean, he's just, you know, I mean, I love the way he played then. And I thought this Vanguard gig might be the perfect opportunity to use this kid that I met. And sorry for calling you a kid, but you were then. I guess
I was a kid.
You know,
he's all old now.
That's right. That's like you got kids and stuff. You know, and so I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be. I didn't expect the vibe to be as good as it was. But I guess that's what happens when you call your friends. You know.
Yeah. Well, so talking about Warren, I'd love to get it from your standpoint, Warren, because I think we all definitely looked at you as the kid. We still kind of do. You're every time you have a birthday, I'm like, what? Damn, old ass kid. But because you're not actually that much younger than us, but you were like right in that kind of in between thing. But like from your standpoint, was it like I'm playing with some old dudes, I'm playing with some seasoned professionals, I'm playing with some sad middle? I mean, what was the vibe from your standpoint?
Honestly, it was more I'm playing with some seasoned professionals. I wasn't nervous at all because I think the other two people who really took a chance on me, like Steve said, was Margaret Miller and Bobby Watson. So right before I got that call from, it wasn't actually like a real call. Like it wasn't actually from you, Christian. It was from some woman. I don't know who it was.
It was from Jill. Okay. Jill Amaral.
So
at Ted Curlin's office.
Yeah, okay. Don't make it sound all random. Some woman call.
No, just a woman call, but
yeah, right.
But I mean, I gotta admit though, I mean, before I got that call, I was very frustrated with the whole music business because I always thought, you know, especially coming from college, when I saw a particular record and they had a certain cast on, I always thought that was the band. I was like, that's the band, that's the band, that's the band. So when I got the call with Margaret, I was like, cool, I'm going out forever. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, damn, I don't hear from this guy for 4 more years. and when Bobby called, I mean, that happened, you know, continually for 2 years. But then I was like, wait, you know, what happened to all the gigs? And then I realized that Bobby was teacher full-time at UMKC. Right. So I wasn't sure what was happening. By this time, I had left Baltimore and I moved back. I left Boston and moved back to Baltimore, and I was just playing these little gigs. And then I got the call, and I thought it was gonna be another one of those situations. I was like, oh, here we go. I mean, I really honestly didn't know the magnitude of what was happening. To be straight up, like, I was like, all right, we can play the Vanguard, cool. We're going to Brazil, cool. I didn't really know what the Monterey Jazz Festival was. I was only 23, 24 at the time, and I remember we did that record. I was like, wow, we're in the studio for a whole week, which I've never. Still to this day, I've never done a record over a whole week. And then I remember.
Well, we also had the gig to go with it, so trust me, the budget wasn't that
big. But no, I mean, I gotta say, it was just a great. It still is. But I remember I asked Andre during that time. I was like, man, are we? You know, based off of prior year's experience, I was like, are we really going to tour this thing? He was like, I'm telling you, man, we going to be out there. And then back in my mind, I was like, yeah, okay. And here we are in 2020. And I got to say, you know, just seriously, it's been a pleasure to just be on the stage with y'all. I mean, we toured with Connor Brown, like playing those same songs for 7 years before we jumped over to something else. And that was just hot, you know, just to work out different things and, you know, blend together.
Well, let me see. We did kind of Brown in 2008. It came out in 2009, and People Music came out in I think 2013, is that right?
I don't remember.
So yeah, so but maybe 4 years of the I mean, maybe it felt like 7 to you. But no, only 4 years.
But even so, 4 years is great. I mean, to play the same songbook for 4 years. I mean, I don't even know too many pop artists who really do that. You know what I mean? It's just really just to do that and to be creative like that over them tunes. I mean, I still would think of playing a thing for Kareem just many times. I was like, all right, what's Steve gonna do tonight that I gotta up him one.
And you had no problem doing that, my brother.
Well, I think it's when playing with this band, with playing with you guys, it's such that really taps into that feeling I had so many times. What are you guys going to do every night? It was like it's that combination of, it's predictable in that Steve's going to play a killing ass solo, then Warren is, and then McBride's going to turn and smile, and Carl's going to hit something, but then combined with like, can it really keep going to the next level? And it did. And so it's always such a challenge, but one of those joyful challenges, because it's like, oh yeah, I know this music. But then it's like, whoa, like the level, it's that very relaxed, high level of musicianship and artistry and rhythmic innovation and all these things kind of folded together. And because everybody's such great human beings and we get along so well, it's always super relaxed. But then as soon as the music starts, it's like, I'm an A-level artist too. I'm not just telling jokes backstage, And so I appreciate you guys so much. And during this downtime, this pause period, I think I appreciate you even more because, a lot of those memories, just like specific things that I still remember, like sounds that happened. And like even, on that gig in South Carolina, which was that the last gig that we did? When they had the heaters on and
that's correct
on the beach,
right.
That's why I think I remember that gig. I remember specific things that happened on stage that night.
Yeah,
and cherish those memories. But I know we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back at it.
Yeah.
Oh, we coming back now.
That's right. Just like Tupac over Warren's shoulder.
I get around.
But I think sometimes, for people who may be watching who are not musicians, may not understand just how special it is to be in a band where you have as much fun off the bandstand as you do on the bandstand.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you think about when we play the Vanguard. I mean, everybody's in the back, we're chilling, we having a good time. After the gig, Warren won't come, but McBride and I, we're going to hang a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, that's one thing about Warren. As soon as that last note is hit, he's back at the hotel.
Right. Wait, didn't Warren come like one time? Oh, I know he's come a couple times.
No, I got a couple times.
Yeah,
I got some good memories. Two people that I've met that I really love that I met at the Vanguard was your buddy Gina Gershon. I love her, and of course, Mr. the Bean Pop brother, Kareem.
Theme for Kareem.
No, that was actually killing. Just to walk in the dressing room, I was like, damn.
Hey, well. That's right.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
it's always been great to have the Vanguard as a home for this band.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
in many ways, this is Lorraine's fault for getting this band together.
Right. Lorraine was so dogmatic. She made a lot of things happen.
That's right.
How about that?
Hey, Steve, I'm sorry, you gonna say something?
No, it's okay. Just to riff off of what you guys just said, the thing that makes this band so special is that it's a communal band internally and externally. Like wherever we go, and of course a lot of this comes from Christian and his spirit. And Christian, I have to say this publicly, but after meeting your moms, man, some years ago, the spirit of your moms, man, it comes right through you, and I think, and then it's infectious, and it spreads out, it just spreads love. Because for anybody out there who's watching this, if you meet Christian's mom, I'll say when you meet Christian's mom, you'll feel like you've known her your whole life. and she's such a beautiful human being, man. So Christian brings that kind of love and that kind of spirit, that down home spirit, and it's in the music, and it brings the people in. So wherever we go, whether it's the Vanguard or we're on the road, Europe, Japan, wherever, you always get that feeling, and it takes the music to another level. You know,
Yeah.
so for us, we can't wait to get to the bandstand because we don't know what's going to happen. What we know, we're going to have fun. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Brother Steve. And you're right about my mom. My mom rules. I don't know if she's watching tonight. She might be. But what's up, Mom? We love you.
What's up, Mom?
What's happening?
I mean, I never understood cats that, I mean, you know, music is supposed to be fun. You know, I don't understand why you would be partaking in an endeavor where, you know, oh man, we got to go on stage and play music. Oh my God.
Right.
We got to get this right. Oh my God, I'm going to die if we. I mean, what is that, man? What is that? I mean, you take years off your life if you do that. I mean, you're supposed to go on stage and be like, I'm playing music for a living with people I enjoy. This is a blessing, you know.
Right.
Let's make it a barbecue, you know. Hey, if
Most
we play
definitely.
something difficult and we screw it up, that's all right. We'll get on the second course.
You hear that, Steve?
Most-
I mean, Peter. Not Steve, Peter.
See?
I'll take that.
No, I meant to say Peter.
No, I'll take it.
I just want to. I know we want to give a shout out to a couple folks on here that are really special to us. Ron Blake, who's on the
Steve.
chat
What's
here.
up, Ron?
What's up, brother Ron? One of the most incredible combinations of saxophonists and human beings on the planet. And Edu Ribeiro from Brazil, amazing drummer, another open studio. Oh, shameless plug too. You're looking at all open studio artists right now. And we're trying to get Ron Blake anyway. And Carl Allen's already going to be on some, but people don't know about that yet. So that's a little plug there. And then somebody else. Oh, Andre Guess. Andre Guess is creeping around with his where is he at? Here we go. Cracky. I know that's AKCP with no picture. no avatar, you know.
You're right. He on the down low.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, I was thinking too, like, you know, Christian, your leadership of this band is so you know, one of the things that I respect so much, you know, everybody's talking about, you know, your incredible bass playing. Yeah, I've been hearing that for years. That's expected at this point. But, you know, your ability to put something like this together, and look, you've done this with quite a few bands now. You're even doing it with several bands at the same time. So you're like juggling this ability. But to be able to put together a group of individuals and make it cohesive and lead the thing in a way that's so subtle that most people probably think it's just like, oh, he just got a bunch of great players together and they're just playing their thing. Maybe because you're in the back playing bass, this is one of those kind of things. But you do a lot of things that are kind of make things easy for us, I think, on stage. You know, and we don't talk about it a lot because it's just kind of the way it is, and now we sort of expect that from you. But everything from like the way that you call the set, the way that you write the tunes, the way that you invite us to bring in tunes, and you kind of set the stage. And I think the last time we were at the Vanguard, we all kind of brought in a few new tunes, and you never like, yeah, bring in a groovy spiritual tune, Carl, and Steve, bring in an intellectual new, you know, you're just like, you know, like the night before, yo, bring some tunes in if you want, you know. But I think because you've set the standard of how the band sounds, just, you know, on the bandstand, and the way that we can play and the way we can even write for this band in such an organic way, that it's really exciting, you know, as a sidemate to come into the situation and know like, wow, I can not only be my authentic self, but really fit in a cohesive way where somebody else kind of has all of our back all the time, and we can take a lot of chances, you know. So
you're very kind, Peter. I really thank you for that, man. But you know, I think with specific regards to this band, I mean, like Peter, you know, Tony La Russa, a buddy of ours, right?
Yeah.
Great baseball manager. And I remember talking to Tony once about the '89 Oakland Athletics, and I said, "Hey man, what was it like managing that team?" And he looked at me. He was like, "Manage? I ain't have to do nothing. I just sat there and made the lineup card." He said, "Look, man, you got Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco and Carney Lansford and all these people, and you know, you got Dave Stewart and Dennis Eckler. what the hell did I have to do? You know. And so I think in this band, when I kind of knew what I wanted, like the kind of sound I was going for, the kind of vibe that I wanted, I knew that you guys would be the perfect band. And you know, I don't have to tell you guys much of anything. Y'all know what the vibe is. Y'all know what the feel is. You know, obviously this is not the exact same thing in each band, because other bands that I have, I don't know them as well, particularly on a personal level as well as I know you guys. But this band is kind of like, you know, yeah, it's Christian McBride and Inside Straight, but I mean, you know, we're all leaders in some way, shape, or form. I don't believe in telling people what to do unless they get way off track of the vision, which could never happen in this band. So, you know, hey, I respect what you guys have done as musicians and as leaders. And so for that, I bring the music in. I ask you guys to bring music in. You already know what the vibe is, kind of, you know, pretty much. And I just let things take its course, you know. I mean, Warren can get a little too competitive every now and then. You know, he starts thinking like this is a sporting event. I mean, notice, ladies and gentlemen, he said earlier, one up, Steve. Now, we don't say one up in jazz.
No.
You know.
And so, definitely not about Steve Wilson, if we are going to say
not about Steve Wilson, you know what I'm saying? And when I mention, you know, say, you know, if we play something, you know, we play something very difficult, we miss it, we'll come back and play it in the next course. And Warren said, "You hear that, Peter?" So see, and that in Warren's mind, that's like a competitive thing. Like, you know, he's keeping score. Like, you know, yeah, I played that better than you, that chord. See, I learned that faster than you did. Hey, my favorite story about Warren Wolf is Peter. There was a gig you couldn't make with us, and Christian Sands played piano. It was at the Jazz Standard, and I don't remember.
Carl, you know this is going.
So I wasn't there. I was coming from, I don't know where I was coming from, but I said, Warren, you know, you go ahead and run rehearsal. And when I got there, man, Christian Sands looked like he had seen a ghost, man. And he didn't tell me this until much later. He was like, man, Warren was rough, man. Warren was calling the tunes all fast. And, you know, like vibing me when I played the wrong chord. And, you know, so, you know, Warren's a rough customer. You know, he's like a basketball coach.
Oh, man. Hilarious moments in this band.
But I think too, Warren's, you know, his competitive streak, that's kind of been a positive force, and not only because of the humor, but it's definitely rubbed off on us in ways that we probably barely would even admit. Because I know on the occasional time that Warren messes anything up, Christian, usually you look over at me and we'll give a little look like, we wouldn't even know. I mean, it's such a minor thing, but we're like, it's back on you now.
Hey, Peter, there was that one gig, one of those Vanguard hits we did, and he played two wrong notes 2 different times in the same set. And I remember that me and you were looking at each other like, oh, Warren's losing it.
That's right.
He ain't been in the shed.
That's right. That was like, is there a pandemic coming? Because something is happening in the world.
That's right.
You know, but see, the other part is that we've been able to see Warren grow up. Because y'all remember the first year or so, Warren used to break a string every night.
Oh, man, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Every night.
That's right.
I'm like, how you break a string on vibes? How you do that?
I didn't even know it was a string instrument.
You know what? That's one of the biggest lessons I learned playing with y'all was to just take your time and chill. Because back then, I mean, you're right. That competitiveness was really pushing me, and I wanted to. without saying any names, I was just like, ain't nobody messing with me on this instrument. And I was like, I'm gonna show y'all in every chorus what's up.
See, you ain't chill. You just
exactly.
You chill. You ain't chill.
No, I'm chill now. No, back then I had a point to prove, so I mean, I still do, but you know, it's all good. Especially in this new music that I've been working on, all this quote unquote smooth jazz, but you know.
No, I don't know. Elucidate on that.
Huh?
Elucidate on that. So,
I just want people to know, just like your boy can play many other styles outside of straight ahead jazz.
Well, you are from Baltimore, so come on. We know that.
Listen, I know how to play grace notes too.
Hey, Peter.
There he is.
Well, it can't just be any big grace note. When you're playing smooth jazz, you gotta go to backwards grace note. It's the note and then go down a half step. So when you do that, that's the bona fide smooth jazz right there. So.
Oh Lord!
It's like the reverse enclosure.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh man.
Well, maybe this would be a good opportunity since we're socially distancing from Warren and everybody else, so we're safe physically from retribution, where we could tell our funniest, like we like to call them Warrenisms, and I feel emboldened by being physically away. But I'll start it out with just, and this is out of love, Warren, of course.
Well, go ahead. I got a funny joke for the band in general.
All right, good.
Let me say that one first, then y'all.
All right, go ahead.
So I'll never forget. I mean, it's nothing that we did per se. I just remember a few years ago, well, whatever year it was, when we played the Richmond Jazz Festival. I remember Steve, Carl, and Peter. We were all in Richmond chilling at the hotel, and Christian was supposed to have this flight from Newark coming down, but it was a bad storm that day.
That's right.
And I think your flight got delayed like 3 times, and we were supposed to open up for Chrisette Michelle.
That's right.
I think at the last minute, the promoter was like, you know what? We're going to let her go on, and then y'all go on after her. We're going to give y'all, 20 minutes. Man, that whole place cleared out. It was that one dude in the front row like, yeah! And I think we played like 15 minutes. You was like, all right, that's it. We out of here.
Yeah, I think we only played, we played like 2 courses of Brother Mister and theme for Kareem, and then we were out.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Well, you remember because Christian, I don't think you even got to the venue until like after 10 o'clock that night.
Right.
You were stuck in the airport all day, and where we played, Maymont Park, had a curfew. They had to shut everything down.
That's right.
Like 11:30. So we went on. We went on afterwards, and the whole crowd. You're right. The whole crowd just said, "Okay, we're out." That one guy stayed around.
That was a wild night. That piece of that gig is up on YouTube.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. It might have been the whole gig, and it was still just a piece of the gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's right.
Well, we had the these are backwards. Oh, there you go. We had a kind of long running thing that I had to even think back as to where it started, and that was the whole bean pie episode or episodes for Warren. I'll just give a brief because it had several chapters to it. But I think it started on one of those early tours in Europe, and we were in the van just sort of talking about whatever happened to be on the news, or somebody had a newspaper. I think Carl might have had like a Herald Tribune or whatever, in his Toomey attaché next to him that he pulled out, put his spectacles on. But we were talking about something. They said, there was a certain statement by this Islamic leader and blah, 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 just whatever, just kind of, we were talking about stuff, and Warren was kind of like on his phone or whatever, not really listening, or so we thought, and we kept talking. All of a sudden, Warren turned around and said, "Yo, man, you guys like bean pies?" And we were like, "What?" And he's like, "Man, I heard y'all talking about all that Muslim stuff, man. Do you guys like bean pies?" I like bean pies. And so then I guess fast forward to the next time with the Vanguard. It always kind of revolves around the Vanguard. Andre Guest, Christian's manager of the band, he's like, we gotta get him a bean pie. He loved that story. He loved that incident.
That was my birthday.
Oh, on your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So he went uptown to Harlem to get you bean pies, like on the break, and had them at the. But wasn't it a thing like where you didn't like them or anything? Actually,
No, that was you. You didn't like them.
oh, that's
Because-
right. Yeah, he got one for everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
and, I mean, I like him okay, but I was like,
No,
And
that was the night Kareem was there.
right, because he saw mine. He's like, man, you gonna eat that? I was like, no, you got it. So that was full circle on the bean pies.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
my
boy.
favorite,
classic.
you know, you talk about Warrenisms. Oh, by the way, that pound cake night, I have audio of that.
What's a pound
Because
cake?
I don't know if you
that
remember,
night.
the WBGO was there broadcasting from the Vanguard, like 2 of those nights. And so like Josh Jackson mentions it on the broadcast. He's like, you know, last night Warren Wolf celebrated his 30th birthday, and the band brought him some bean pies on stage. He actually said that on the radio broadcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
I gotta let y'all hear.
Oh, that's
But
hilarious.
Warren is definitely the king of the non sequitur. In terms, I mean, it could be a text or a conversation, like no matter what's happening. So like we'll be in the van or on the plane, and you know, we'll be talking about politics or sports or whatever it is. You know, Warren have his headphones on, or he'll have his head on the window taking a nap or something. Like in the middle of this serious conversation, Warren will like just so innocently turn around and be like, "Hey man, you like pound cake?"
Oh,
And like he like so completely derails the conversation. It's like I'm like busting a gut laughing.
Right.
It's like this dude is hilarious, man.
I'll give you one.
Like he sends me a text in the middle of the night last night. Warren, you sent me that text last night. Hey man, you heard the Tupac joint?
Yeah, with James Brown.
But I never know what's coming from that brother. I love him so much, man. Hilarious.
I'll tell you a hard lesson I learned on the road one time. This is nothing about music, but first time out on the road, and this was before I knew there was a such thing as international plans on the cell phone.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I remember this was 2010 maybe. We went to Europe, right?
Oh man.
And I had reconnected with an old girlfriend of mine, and I remember we were in Italy or something, and I was just on the phone chilling, talking to this girl, and I think one of those gigs we got in cash, and I remember Andre came up to me, he was like, "Say, bro, you might want to just give me that money. I can just apply it to your phone bill." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, and I said, "I only talk to her 2 hours a day for 2 weeks." Man, I got back home. I think this was on, what was that cellular line? Singular One or something like that?
Cellular One.
Cellular One.
Cellular
Yeah.
One.
My
Boost Mobile.
My phone bill was for that 2 weeks in Italy. The whole tour check was gone. My phone bill was like $3,500. I was like,
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh. Ow.
yeah.
Hey Carl, remember
That's a hard lesson.
that story?
Yeah.
You remember that time we were in Victoria, Spain, with the Jazz Futures, and was that on the Jazz Futures tour? Maybe it might have been the Quintet tour. Hargrove did the same thing. Hargrove called his lady back home in the
Those
States.
Jazz Futures?
Yeah. He called from the hotel phone,
Oh.
fell asleep on the phone,
Yeah.
and the line was live for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh my
And when we
God.
checked out the next morning, his hotel bill was like $2,000 or something like that,
Yeah.
just from that phone call.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, man, y'all need to get hip to this international calling plan.
Right. But that's funny how it's cyclical, because you remember, Warren doesn't remember this, but we all remember before the cell phones. At first, it was like dialing direct from the
Calling card.
hotel. Yeah, you get the
Calling
calling
card.
card.
That's
And
right.
the AT&T USA Direct, remember that one? You know.
Right. Woo!
But then cats started selling them on the road too. Yo, you want to buy a phone card? You know, like, open up the trench coat. You know, buy a phone card.
Hey, you remember you used to have to go to Radio Shack and buy one of those little things because a lot of those phones in Europe were rotary phones.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah,
So you
yeah,
had to go to
yeah.
Radio Shack and get the push button thing. Put it up against the phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, Warren's looking at us like, oh yeah.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Nope. I came
But we thought it was super slick when you go to Japan and they had those phone cards. You go down to the lobby in the hotel.
Right.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of our favorite locales that we've hit with this band. I think they're always wrapped up in some kind of story or Warrenism or something else. But Carl, you mentioned Japan. I know you have a big affinity for the Japanese islands, as it were, in the country. And that was one of the early tours we did. Well, we did it a couple times, but that was one of the kind of early ons when we hit the was it the Blue Note or the Cotton Club? I guess it was the Blue Note.
Cotton Club.
Cotton Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And then we used to always laugh at Dre because during the sound check, that was Dre's first time.
That's right.
And so we were doing the sound check, and Dre was sitting down in the club. He fell asleep. He was like this. Then when he knew we were looking at him, he do like this.
Like, ooh, like I'm digging the music.
I remember. I think that was our first European tour. That same tour where Toady got us.
Mm-hmm.
We played in. Oh man, where were we? In doggone it, I can't remember where we were. But man, Andre, he cooled us out. I got to give him credit. At least he rectified the situation by not sitting in the front anymore. But Dre would sit right in the front. Dre would sit right in the front and be like. I'll be like, hey man, not only are you my manager, but you know you representing the band, but you black and here in Europe, and you know people looking at you and they like, damn, the brother don't even like this music. How are we supposed to like it? You know, sitting right in the front, falling asleep. And Dre's like, no, I'm gonna go hang in the dressing room. Good, my man.
Watch a sling box all day.
But you know, I knew something was gonna go down because that those first couple days in Japan. I don't know if he hadn't been over there a lot, not like us. But he was real like, yeah, I'm not one of those managers that's like chilling in the spa at the hotel. I'm going to be there with y'all. I was like, yeah, you're there in the afternoon. What are you going to do tonight, though? Oh, there he is.
That was one of the few times. And you know what? That was one of the few times that Warren hung out. McBride, remember we went to some club, we had cigars, and Warren was sitting there the whole time like, why am I in here?
Hey, you should give Andre the code. It's hard to have a band hang and not have him here.
Man, I just said it to him. I was reading your mind.
Oh,
I just said it to him.
Good. And then he could tell Warren's bread story.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The who story?
The bread story when we were in Italy.
Oh, well, I don't remember that.
Oh.
I pulled up a picture from that. I don't know if it's gonna come well over the phone. I mean, over the monitor. But
Oh, go ahead, show it.
you want to see if that works?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, he's got to tell you. You better pull back.
Yeah. Sorry, text is coming in. That's a Warrenism. See, here we go.
Wait, hold on.
Turn off the notifications.
It's all good. But yeah, that's the picture.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
We were on the going on the bullet train. So.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, y'all, I miss y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, we miss you too, Warren.
So, actually, Warren, I don't know if you're the only one, but let's just talk a little bit. We'd be remiss to not talk about the current times we're in, just like what's happening in the music world, which obviously is not a lot, but you've actually done a couple of live gigs at the club in Andy Music in Baltimore, right? You with Sean Jones and some other groups.
Yeah, so a week after everything shut down, I was on stage the following week. with a local bass player here named Jeff Reed and my man Quincy Phillips on drums. And since then, I've probably played like maybe 7 to 8 live streams. And also Keystone Corner, run by NEA Jazz Master Todd Barkin, has he's opened back up with live people in the club.
Wow.
I probably played there a few times with Joe Locke and Sean Jones and Eric Alexander. But our mayor of Baltimore just 2 days ago just put an order in saying that we cannot have live audiences starting this Friday at 5 o'clock. So we're back into a small lockdown mode. So we'll be doing live streams at Keystone from here on out until they change things over. So
you're still allowed to do the streams, but with no people in the club.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was pretty cool, just to actually play for an audience. We have some folks in there, the club holds 200, so we're supposed to operate at 50% of that. But of course, people were afraid to come out, so we were averaging about 40 to 50 folks, wow. on the weekends. So, but the place was so big, it was spread out. As soon as we finished playing the set, we just ran to the dressing room. We was like, all right, let's get out of here. So people try to come talk to us.
You're like, no, there's no hanging tonight.
Right.
Well, we have a very special surprise guest I'd like to bring on.
Uh-oh.
There
no
he
pun
is.
intended.
Mr. Andre Guest.
I'm sorry.
That's good.
Hey, I don't want to tell a Warren story. Y'all stop picking on Warren. I got a Peter story. Mr. Peter. So, the first European tour for this band.
There he is.
We fly into, I guess we flew into Rome.
Yep.
We flew into Rome and we were connecting to, where were we going?
Palermo,
right?
With Palermo, yeah.
So we got a real tight connection. So we getting in and us crowds, people all together. We got to go through immigration. Peter's like, I'm gone. And he goes and he just barrels through people, knocking people out the way. And he said, come on, guys, come on. It's like, man, we ain't going and knocking people down, man. If we don't all get there together, we just don't get there. Peter goes all the way through, knocking people down. And then we missed the plane. But Peter makes the plane. Now, you finish the story. Now, I got a part 2 to the story. So what happened, Peter, when you made it there and we didn't?
Well, there's a couple parts. I know the part you want to tell. I want to tell the part I want to tell.
No. This is the second part of the story because it's the long tour. But this is how the tour starts out. You decide to get to the place before us.
Well, no, I did try. No. I did try. I don't know about the pushing people. I don't know about the pushing people across. I did push my. I mean, I had changed planes in Rome before in the summer. Like, you snooze, you lose there. But when I got there,
what you're saying is we're rookies.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I did get there, and of course, because that was the beginning of a certain promoter who we shall not mention, although we did mention him earlier. There was no ride there or anything, and I think there was like this guy came up, so I was like went over and got like espresso. I was like I was gonna wait till your guys' flight was coming in. I figured okay, we'll all drive there together. This guy comes up to me. I'm sitting there drinking coffee, and he's like, Peter Martin. I was like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, yeah, you doing the, concert? I would love your playing, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, oh, I guess he's picking me up. I said, are you picking all of us up? Or like, what size car do you have or whatever? He's like, oh, no, I'm just coming from a gig in Milan, but where are you going? And I was like, such and such hotel. He's like, oh, I'll take you over there, no problem. And I said, well, I think Toadie's, going to pick all of us up. And he's like, nah, he's not coming for you guys. That's not happening, So
that was that hotel. That was the Nino Brown suite.
That's right.
With the table.
Yeah, every time I get one of them super deluxe king suites, we ain't in town for more than 10 hours. I can't enjoy it.
That's right.
Yeah, Christian's.
Yeah, but see, Dre, he's not getting to the
No, but this is part 2. So the whole tour, Peter decides to just. Peter was social distancing 15 years ago. He didn't have anything to do with us because other than Carl, nobody had Peter's status. They had like a black card, the platinum card, or whatever. So they were all in the lounges. You know, the common folk were outside. Peter was going to the lounges, didn't want to have anything to do with us. So after the first incident, I said, Peter, we need to stick together, man. We have to stick together. Right? He's like, man, I'm going into the lounge. Now, I can get one of y'all in, but I can't get everybody. So we decided to stay together. Peter goes into the lounge. So, you know, in Europe, they don't have the, you know, in many of the airports, they don't have it where you actually get on the plane in the terminal. You got to take a bus to go out to the plane. So we're on the bus. Where's Peter? Anybody see Peter? No, I
remember y'all were thinking I was gonna play piano that night. We was like, he ain't gonna make it.
It's like, where's Peter? I'll be damn. I told Peter to stick with the band. So we get on the bus, we get in the plane. The flight attendants are walking up and down. They trying to figure out what's going on. Why haven't we left? I'm like, damn, where's Peter? So then, I'm not lying, hand to God, we look out the window. One of them double-decker bend in the middle buses, right? There's only one person on the daggone bus. It's Peter Martin. They held the whole fight up for Platinum Peter.
Wait, hold up. I got to correct that story. There was two people on there. The driver and two people.
Hey, so to all of our viewers, what does all of that tell you?
It speaks to the times we're in. It speaks to the current times.
Now, see, I know no one that has higher airport credentials than Carl Allen. Carl Allen had platinum cards before they had platinum cards. You know.
Oh, please.
And Carl Allen's getting into the Delta. Carl had like a TWA and Pan Am platinum. Like,
Ozark Airlines.
The People's Republic, was that the airline? Remember that?
People's Express.
The People's Express, right?
People's Republic.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, and so like, so Dre, imagine like me, Carl, Warren, or Steve trying to push through that crowd, trying to get to that connection flight in Flint. Ain't gonna happen for us.
See, I was trying to push things open for y'all. I was ahead of my time. I was breaking the.
Yeah, but see, but you ain't do that.
Tell the Delphine story.
See, it's nice to have options. See, we ain't got them options.
Right.
Hey, McBee, speaking of, tell that Delphine story.
Oh, well, see, to tell the Delphine, I ain't gonna tell the first part of the story. But
can I say if you decide to tell that story, I remember that week. I think that was the longest stretch of flights that we've taken just for 2 gigs. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
But you remember the 2 random locations that we were linked together.
I know one was in Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, what was the first one?
Yeah.
Was that French Guiana?
French Guiana, yeah.
French Guiana.
But it took 4 days to get there, and then we had to fly from there to Montreal, stay the night, and then down to DC.
Right.
That's right.
Right. That was brutal.
Nuts,
We went to the Dominican Republic on the way down, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Among others.
And,
Right. And you remember they didn't know, they couldn't tell us when our plane was leaving. They didn't know. Remember that when we had to stay overnight, and you know, every time it kept changing. It's like, well, we just let you know when we find out.
Right.
So we had no idea how long we're going to be there.
But we stayed somewhere else. I think I was coming from New Orleans. Was that New Orleans still? No, I was in St. Louis. But I stayed in the Dominican Republic. I think I got there late, and then the next day I got up and flew, and ended up like on some other island for that night, and still wasn't in Cayenne. Like, was it St. Lucia? Oh, something. Because it definitely took a couple of days to get down there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was deep.
But I was saying on social media, I was like, I'm island hopping. I tried to make it romantic.
So when we get to French Guiana, I mean, that whole gig was special, man. I remember we got to the gig and they didn't have vibes for Warren. And I remember the promoter was like, oh yeah, we got vibes, and we get to the gig and they had a set of marimbas, and Warren was like, "Well, where are the vibes?" And the promoter's like, "Well, aren't these vibes?" Like, no, vibes are different, you know.
No.
And Warren, in his true athletic, you know, gamesmanship, said, "It's all good. I'll just play the marimba." I don't even think they had a set of vibes on the island.
They didn't. They didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, but they got those the marimbas in there. But yeah, so we flying home, and I don't remember. It wasn't on the first leg of the. It must have been the second leg of the trip back, because we had to fly through Santo Domingo again on the way home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So French Guiana, Santo Domingo, I think Puerto Rico, and then Montreal or something like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You know, Miami, Montreal, whatever it was. And so on the second leg of the flight, we had this flight attendant, and oh man, if I could describe her, she was like Florence from the Jeffersons, just talking mess, right? Just, you know, loud talking, busting everybody's chops, and she was like, "Who y'all? Y'all look like a band."
loud up in the aisle.
Loud, man. And I remember somebody on the flight dropped their passport, and remember she picked it up and she was like, "Who dropped their passport on the floor? Who dropped their passport on the floor?" Oh man, she was good, man. And so finally she was like, "So who y'all?" And so we finally told her. He was like, I play bass, Carl's drummer, and Peter was like, "I play piano," and she was like, "You don't play no piano. You must be the manager because you white."
And then Dre's like, "No, I'm the manager," and she's like, "No, you ain't. What do you play?"
Oh, that's classic. That's classic.
Oh man, that flight attendant was deep. Delphine.
Remember, she was the purser. She was the because it was an international flight.
That's right.
She was the purser. Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's like, "You must be the manager." "Well, I'm the purser." I'm like, "What is that?"
Oh my God.
Lord have mercy.
Crazy.
Oh,
That's
that
crazy.
was
I never forgot Delphine.
Delphine, that's right. Did she come to the? I know we invited her to the gig. Did she come to the
No,
gig?
that was on the way home. We met her on the way back when we were leaving French Guiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
French Guiana. So there were some
That was
other
deep.
places that didn't we went to Bermuda? Remember that gig?
Yeah, I remember that one. It was
That was
windy.
a marimba
was super
situation,
windy.
wasn't it?
Did
No.
they
I don't
not?
think so.
Oh, it wasn't. There was some other island we went. I remember they only had a marimba or glockenspiel or something.
Was that?
Yeah, you didn't know I knew that, Warren. I'm competitive. My mallet instrument from the Latin glockenspiel.
But the one thing about Warren, he never complained about his instrument. Whatever they had, he was going to play.
He was gonna break it.
That's
no
right.
matter what it was.
That's right. See, Warren's like Mike Tyson. He don't have no stick bag. He just throws mallets in his back pocket.
That's right.
If it's the winter time, inside his winter coat.
I was about to say that's what it is. Sometimes I can't lie. Sometimes I'm so lazy about carrying mallets. Like if it's the winter coat, I'll put it inside the sleeve because it's long enough.
Yeah,
to fit
I've seen you do that. That's right.
They be like, "Where's your mallets?" I'd be like, "Right here."
He's like, "Nah, this is my guns, but I can't pack those, so it's all good."
I remember another time. I'm sorry, I got to tell one more story.
No, yeah,
Peter.
do it.
I remember one time I had y'all cracking up laughing. We were in Europe somewhere, and I won't say his name, but the initials are DG.
Oh no, see now what?
But y'all got on me about it because I remember I was sitting in the car and I was just like, I looked at him and I was like, this dude is crazy. Yeah, y'all didn't believe me, but I saw it. Next, keep going.
Well, I was just gonna say I didn't properly introduce Andre Guess because he came on in such a illustrious fashion with his slightly exaggerated stories about me. But Andre is Christian's manager for many years and a writer. Check out his blog, Educated Guess. Actually, he's the father of a bunch of writers and the husband of a really good writer as well. But he's also one of the most positive and influential forces from the business and management side in jazz. And he's behind the scenes a lot of times, but he's really a huge, I'm so glad he's joining us tonight because just such a huge part of this band, not only getting us gigs and keeping us out there and keeping stuff organized, but he's one of those managers that's right there with you, like putting together his Christian's bass, telling me, yeah, man, that solo was a little better last night. You know, stuff like that a lot of managers don't do.
And eating raw animals all day too.
Yeah. And big eating influence on me, and just a brother that we really appreciate so much. And so anyway, welcome.
Thank you for having me. And Carl, we'll get to Japan soon.
Please.
Well, I got one question on that. How many times just today has Carl texted you for an updated schedule on future possible dates for a Japan tour? I'm just talking today, Thursday.
Well, no, the real question is how many times has Carl cussed out Warren because he couldn't do a gig?
That's right.
Because really the only person that doesn't get subbed out in this band is Warren. So if we get offered a gig for this band and Warren can't do it, then we end up using another one of Christian's band. So I get an offer, I'll call Warren, I'll text Warren and say, hey, can you do it? And if he can't do it, then Carl finds out. He's like, man, what you doing?
I can say though, I don't know if y'all remember this though. I did miss one gig with y'all that y'all did play without me. Y'all remember that?
Well,
no
actually,
one else was playing vibes.
No.
We did a quartet.
Y'all just played quartet. It was at the y'all were in Indianapolis because I missed my flight, and I think the Final Four was happening. They had no flights going to Indianapolis.
That's right. And you didn't play with us either on Good Day New York. Remember that, Steve?
That's right. Yeah.
And Carl.
Yeah,
you couldn't make that gig with us.
Right.
He was like, I don't do TV. No, he's like, I don't do local TV.
That's right.
I'll tell you one more classic moment with this band. Y'all remember that? No, it's cool. Hey, I mean, remember that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I've ever heard Warren Wolf talk this much.
I know. and hang so late.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. You remember that gig we did in that park near the Jazz Standard? And it was nice.
Madison Square.
Yeah, remember it was nice and sunny for about 20 minutes. It was hot and sunny, and then all of a sudden it started raining.
That was the most torrential rain I've ever been in, because we all remember that, because it literally came out of nowhere so fast.
Yeah,
storm.
Yeah.
And the rain was blowing sideways.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? I mean, it was just
remember
unbelievable.
it broke the stage. One of the beams on the stage came down and almost took me out, man. That was a scary. That was a scary gig.
Yeah, it was. I mean, really bad lightning. The whole thing, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then a lot of those folks stayed around. Remember, we finished the gig after the storm blew over.
Yeah, and they waited. Yep.
And they waited, and they stayed out there soaking wet and everything. They went and found shelter, and they came right back. It was really incredible.
Yeah.
We've had several weather. We had the one in Montclair, right by you, Christian. Remember when it started? Raining,
yeah.
But we were able to move indoors there, I think.
Yeah, that was
right.
That, we had bad luck 2 years in a row, man. Just lightning, thunder. Yeah, it's going. It was going on a few minutes ago here. But hey, Dre, I left the table set for you to tell that story about Warren and the bread when we were in Italy.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember this story. Please tell me. No.
We're doing a whole.
Was that?
We're in Italy doing a whole string of dates in these little small venues, outdoor venues, and they don't have restaurants per se as such right around. So they're taking us to these people's homes, right? It's outside. We have all this killing food. absolutely killing. It's like probably the best string of food that we've had on a series of gigs was that Italy tour. And so we were, they were bringing out the beautiful bread, just the killing bread. So we were passing the bread around. I said, "Hey, Warren, you want some bread?" Warren said, "No, man, that bread's hard." He was hard yesterday too.
What did I say at the end of that? What'd you say? I don't even recall this moment.
It was hard yesterday too.
I get it. See, man, I was only 23 at the time. 24
No.
24.
Warren was used to that Wonder Bread.
I was at that time. I was still snacking hard on Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, right.
Now, Warren, you can get me back with the San Francisco Brussels sprout store.
Please tell me I don't remember this.
You remember that?
Yes, you do. There was something in those Brussels sprouts that he didn't realize.
Oh, it was some pig, right?
Some swine.
Andre was like, "Man, this tastes good." I was like, "Oh, okay. You know what's in there, don't you?"
I ordered me a second batch.
Wow.
Because
I got one more.
Oh, he's
story.
rolling tonight. Warren.
You're bringing back memories. Now I didn't go to this place. I know I didn't go to this restaurant, but some chef invited y'all to come to his burger spot. And I heard the burgers were terrible, but they said, "Christian, you forced it down." Do y'all remember this? Anybody?
Oh, that was in London, wasn't it?
Oh.
Y'all said these burgers were terrible.
Now, why are you putting the cat on the spot like that?
Hey, we didn't say his name though.
Brother trying to make a name for himself with some burgers.
The light-skinned brother from London.
It was in London, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Man, yeah, I remember that. that.
Oh, that was okay. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I hope he ain't watching.
I know. Come on, Warren. See,
They were at my restaurant. Oh man, I remember when they were there. They didn't like it.
It's all good.
those were some
lesson learned. Get it American style. Cook that shit medium well.
I do remember in that Italian tour, like when we first couple places we played, you did ask the cat that was coming around bringing the food, "Hey man, can I get a hamburger?"
American style hamburger.
Yeah, medium well.
That little Italian run on that tour was some special. I mean, the gigs, a lot of them were outdoors and just beautiful little. Remember, we kind of pull up and we're like, it was Italian style. They were still setting up the stage sometimes, but the audiences would be killing, the food would be killing, the vibe, the wine. That was some special times,
Mm-hmm.
See, I got another Warren story. So every time you play in Japan, you play like the Blue Note or you play the Cotton Club, something like that. When they bring you your food on the break, they bring you the exact amount for the band.
Oh,
right.
boy.
That's right. Like family style.
It's just like, it's not like just unlimited food. They just like bring a whole tray. There's five people in the band. Okay, we bring in 5 pieces of fish. And so Warren always had this issue. Warren would take like 2-3 pieces of fish, a couple of pieces of steak, and me and Andre are like, "Bro, what you doing, man?" Warren be like, "Well, I mean, it's here." And he said, "No, man, that's."
I remember one of those times, Carl was out messing with the drums or something,
Carl
talking to somebody.
Right. He hadn't even got back yet.
We was like, "Man, that's Carl's, man." He's like, well, he ain't here.
Oh, man. Speaking of, I got some more. This will be my last one for a minute. So
for a minute,
Carl, you wasn't on this tour, but I remember speaking of fish, when we all got sick in Jakarta.
Jakarta. Oh,
I mean, not sick in bed, but we just
We all
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, y'all know what happened.
Ooh.
Oh, we all had it. We all had it.
Carl, you lucky you weren't there, man.
Somebody left the stick out in the room.
That hung on me for a minute.
Yeah, we all had it.
That
Trey,
was
I think
the Jakarta, Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand.
Java Jazz.
That's right.
Java
Hey,
Jazz.
that's what McBride got that phone he had for like 5. He used that phone until it fell apart.
That phone was killing. And it died at the Vanguard. That concrete in the kitchen killed that phone.
Oh man.
What was it called?
Wow.
It was called a milk chocolate or
It was
something like that.
chocolate, yeah, chocolate.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when we
Ooh,
got,
that phone
we
was
got all them
mean, Jack.
suits. Remember we got them suits and the shirts?
You're right.
You still got him, Dre?
I still got them.
Wasn't that was
Yeah,
that the
You paid like $200 for like 9 suits.
custom?
Yeah, I feel bad now. It's like some child labor stuff going on.
Was that the gig in Bangkok? Was that the time when there was like a riot at the shopping mall we were supposed to play at or something? Or maybe that was another time I was in. No, I think that
not
was the
that
time.
day. Was it the day before? I think
was
the
something.
riot was the day
No,
before.
yeah,
right. It was the day before. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
remember they were
remember that.
like,
Yep.
because we saw it on the news. We're like, aren't there riots going? They're like, oh no, that was yesterday. You guys are cool today. We were like, are you sure?
Right.
I was saying we did the double bill with Babyface on that tour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
that was in
Singapore.
Singapore.
Singapore, right? Because you
That
did
was
that.
Singapore, yeah.
You did that press conference with Babyface.
Right. And Dre was funny. He was like, "This might be the only press conference in history where the press people know more about the Jazz Cat than they know about Babyface."
That's right.
Man, I was just one of those. That gig in Bangkok. Remember we played in like that black tent, and there was another band playing at the same time, and they were loud as hell, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember like, man, how can somebody go over there and ask them to stop or something? And they were like, nah, that's, and like bad enough they were loud, but then the people in our tent weren't really listening, you know. And I remember that gig specifically because I didn't call our regular stuff. I was mad. I was like, let's play Green Dolphin Street.
We're gonna hit him with a little green.
That's right.
Yeah, that was kind of a North Sea vibe on that gig. There was just a bunch
That's
of
right.
different stages and tents with a lot of different. Actually, wasn't that the gig where George was there? George Duke. Was he on another stage that night? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they moved. I think they set up those tents because we were supposed to be inside the mall, and like they had like a riot. There was something I remember that they had to move it around at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they had vibes, I guess. That's always amazing.
Speaking of crazy travel, remember the very first gig, that Brazil run, Christian, it took us 24 hours from the time we left the house to get to where we were going.
I would say that's probably one of the top 5 worst travel days ever. Because, we were already worried, like, because, I was still traveling with my David Gage case with the full-size bass case. And, Dre was calling the airline. He's like, look, are you sure this is going to be cool? You sure? Oh, yeah, we got the measurements. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. You can check in the bass, And I think we stopped in was it Sao Paulo?
Sao Paulo.
We were going to Belo Horizonte.
Belo Horizonte, right? And they were like, "Well, passenger McBride, please see customer service." I was like, "Oh, damn."
There they go.
It's like, sorry, sir, your instrument isn't going to make the connecting flight. It's too big. We were like, we called y'all asses like 5 times.
Talk to Delphine.
Delphine would have got us on there.
That's right.
And yeah, man, it took longer to get there than we were actually there for the gig.
That's incredible,
man. I got to tell a real quick one. Just made me think of that when you said they called you on the plane and mentioned your name. Real quick one about our mutual friend Ruben Rogers, great bass player. Ruben's always been like, to this day, real cocky about, man, I can get my bass on any flight, and it used to be, the whole like tip the sky cap kind of thing. And when that faded out, he's like, well, I got status, so I can get it on this. He would always be so cocky. And so we were flying somewhere, and and they were like, "Oh, you can't check it." And he had all the, "No, I called and it's this dimensions or whatever." So they took it and they didn't even charge him like the overrate. He's like, "See, that's right." And we're on the plane, and the woman comes on and she's like, "Excuse me, Mr. Ruben Rogers, can you identify yourself?" And Ruben's like sliding. I'm sitting right next to him. He's like sliding down in the seat, lower. They're like, "You can't take off until Ruben Rod." And me and Greg Hutchinson are like, pointing, like, "He's right here. He's right here." And Ruben's all low. And so she comes over to him and she's like, "Oh, you had the oversized bass?" And he's cocky. He's like, "I'm on the plane, He's like, "Yeah, that's right. What? And she's like, "Oh, well, you didn't pay the charge." And he's like, "Well, guilty as charged, but what you gonna do?" And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna pay now." And she pulled out, she had the credit card machine. She's like, "Which credit card would you like to use, sir?" And so he starts kind of arguing, but people on the plane are like, "Come on, we want to go." And so he had to pull out his credit card. And
Oh boy!
so until you're in the air, I don't think you're ever totally safe.
Hey,
Gotcha.
Carl,
Yeah.
man, when was the last time you actually traveled with your full drum kit on a gig?
Well, you mean like taking on the plane?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, 15 years, 12. It's long time.
Mm.
The only time
Yeah.
I've taken them out is I'm just going to Boston or DC on the, driving.
You have
Right,
somebody
right.
take them for you.
'Cause I was just thinking back to, there you is. I was just remembering, man, like, hey, Peter, you were, when you were playing with Marlon, you remember Taurus used to have that big, it wasn't even like a bass case. It was like a trunk. It was like a square, like a rectangle trunk or something like that, right?
I actually helped build that. Troy Davis and Troy's father, Mark Whitfield, and Taurus, we built that. We went to Home Depot, and because Troy's dad, Mr. Davis, great guy. He, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, he was like, "How much they charge for those bass cases?" And Taurus was like, "Man, it's like $1,000." He's like, "Oh no, man, we're gonna make that for $40. Watch." And so we went, like, he measured the bass. We went in his truck to Baton Rouge Home Depot and like built that. It was like a coffin. It was just like a plywood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember seeing y'all in the airport one time, man. I was with Hargrove and we ran into y'all in the airport somewhere, and that bass case was huge even for them.
Right.
And Troy and Troy was traveling with all his full 5-6 piece drum kit, whatever it was.
Wow.
It's just amazing. Each cat had like 2 bags they were checking in on top of all of the equipment.
Wow.
Man, that was another era.
Have you ever taken your bass actually on the plane?
Oh yeah. Not often, but a couple of times. That's the truth.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't tell the story about how the band got named, did you?
Oh no, I did not. That our first that gig at the Monterey Jazz Festival. We were talking backstage. I was like, well, I don't want to name this the Christian McBride Quintet. I was like, man, that's so boring. Every jazz cat that's got 5 people, they call it a quintet. So I couldn't think of anything. So I said, well, let's have a name the band contest for the audience. And so we had Tim Jackson, and then I announced it that we were going to have a name the band contest. And but you know how people are, man. People were sending in like, we had them send the submissions to info@christianmcbride.com. And people were sending in like 20 submissions, and so it broke the server on my website for like a day.
Man.
And so we got like over 3,000 submissions, man, and it was everybody wants to be a smart ass. Nobody actually wanted to really name the band. It was like Christian and the McBride, the Christian McBride and the Grooms, like all like weak stuff like that, right? And so there was this one said Inside Straight. I was like, whoa, which also happens to be the name of one of my favorite Cannonball Adderley albums. And I thought, well, that kind of fits what I had in mind, so we're gonna go with that. And Doug and Linda Moody from North Coast Brewing were the ones that won the contest. Well,
They go down in history.
Wow.
They should have given us like a year's worth of their brew or something. Oh no, they
Hey,
won the
hey.
contest.
well, wait a second. I got like 10 cases here that we've been. I can't. There's no way in the world we can drink all this beer.
Mm.
I wish y'all were here in Montclair. Come get some of this beer.
Man, Tim
Hey, any
Green,
listeners out there want some beer?
you know, we're doing a raffle.
That's
Beer
right.
bingo. What's up, Tim
We got
Green?
plenty of beer.
Brother Green.
Brother
On
Green,
the
one of
Overless Ignatius.
that's one of the illustrious subs
Bishop.
in this band, the
And
Bishop.
you can only have one Baltimore person on the screen at a time. I take
That's
that
right. Otherwise, they're gonna rob us. Whoa, hold on. Who said that? What?
No.
So, Lake
Let's
Trout.
play some music. Let's talk about some music.
Let's talk about some music. Yeah, should we play a track? Do you guys have time? I know we're over time. Actually, I don't even know if we set a time.
I didn't even know how long we were supposed to be on here. How long are we supposed to be on here?
Who organized this?
You know what I'm saying? It's a pandemic. We don't know what's happening. What's going on? So we have a couple of videos we could play, or just we could listen to one of the tracks from People Music.
It's your call.
Christian?
It's your show.
What's one of the tracks that both me and Carl are on? Not that that's really important, but at least Carl's on.
Play track two.
you
what's the name?
Play track two.
Or is that track two?
Warren, you trying to get some royalties? Trying to get some streaming
the
royalties?
Fairhope theme.
Huh?
The Fairhope theme.
Oh, Fairhope. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you you want to set this up for what it is? What the
Oh
tune
yeah,
is?
yeah. So I wrote the music for a documentary film that the great actress S. Epatha Merkerson made called "The Contradictions of Fairhope." So this is a jazz version of the main theme of from that documentary.
Is it a documentary or is it a movie?
Documentary movie.
It's a docudrama.
That's right.
All right, here we go. This is Fairhope.
Y'all were killing. I should have took another bass solo though.
Oh,
was
man.
whack.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Man, hey, McBride, who engineered that record?
That was one of Joe Furler's last recordings before he retired.
That's right. So this was the one we did in New York, because because he did Kind of Burn. We did that in Berkeley. We did a fantasy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wow. So we did that one at, I guess, at Avatar.
Avatar, and we actually, I think we I was doing my trio record out here at the exact same time, so I was making 2 records at once. That's probably why I sound so bad on that recording.
No, please.
No, man. Not hardly.
McBride came to me after those sessions. He said, "Man, I ain't never doing this again. No more two for ones. No more 2-for-1s, Dre."
That's right. Hey, ain't that much character acting in the world.
Hey, who are the roll call of the cats who have subbed with the band or in the band at some point?
Well, because Peter's so in demand, he's a big businessman, and got this whole platform, open studio. He's large and in charge. The piano chair has, he's held it down very much so all these years. But man, Cyrus Chestnut's played some gigs with us. Mark Carey, Gerald Clayton, Brandon Coleman,
Sylvester.
Christian Sands, Andy Langham from LA.
You missing the first dude.
No, we already got him.
Oh, you already got?
We talked about him at the very beginning.
Oh, you didn't tune in at the beginning, Dre. See?
Well, man, I'm getting off my plate.
I'm sure I'm forgetting some piano player.
Wait, that's a lot. I didn't miss that many gigs.
Yeah.
Were cats playing like half a set?
I can only think of Ulysses playing drums other than Carl with the quintet.
Yeah.
Tim Green and
did Quincy make a gig? Or he was supposed to make a gig?
No, he never.
He was supposed to make a gig that never happened.
Yeah.
Like this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tim
April
Green
25th.
And Jaleel Shaw played a couple of gigs, and Ron Blake played alto with us one night at the Vanguard. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was good here. It was good hearing Cakes on alto.
I would love to heard that myself.
Ted Fuller played one gig too.
That's right, up at in Boston. Yeah. Yep. In fact, I saw Ron was on here. You still on here, Cakes?
He was. He might have got us stuff.
Who's the? Who, I guess not too many people have said it. Who's the memorable sit-ins?
I remember Keezer sat in once.
Oh, that's right. That's it.
In San Diego, right?
In San Diego, right?
Yeah.
He played Cedar Tree, right?
Shade of the Cedar Tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Eric Leeds sat in with us in Minneapolis.
Yeah, Eric. That's right. That's right. Oh, Melissa Aldana.
Mm-hmm.
In Italy. She did
with
us, right?
Orvieto, yeah.
Orvieto,
Who was that? Who was that, Carl?
He's saying Orvieto.
No, I was gonna say an Orvieto, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think of too many cats who See, guess they not trying to mess. See, the kind of stuff we do, they don't like that no more. See, they think of us as passe, you know, like some retread stuff, you know. Like we don't want to just hear all that swinging and, you know, good melodies and chord changes. That's old. We want a band to break it up, you know.
They afraid to come on stage because of Warren, Bob, and everybody.
That's right. Oh, I heard you.
You should have been on her earlier. I'm gonna give it to you.
Ada Gill wants to know why I call Ron Blake Cakes. I will never tell on this live stream.
He's here still. Ron's here.
Yeah, Ron's still here.
Still here.
I mean, I don't know. Cakes was like volume. You know how nicknames evolve. You know, it starts as one thing and it just starts to, you know. So Cakes was like the last volume of a series of nicknames.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we could sit here all night because we ain't got no gigs.
Wait a minute,
it's a pandemic. Time has stood still.
No.
Hello from night to night.
No, I think this is.
It's all over. It's all over.
This is officially the longest time that Warren has sat with the band when y'all weren't playing.
Exactly, and the latest. We're getting close, especially
right.
East Coast time. It's getting close.
Oh God,
Dre, I don't know if you heard us
Dre,
earlier. We were talking about like how emboldened we are with social distancing to talk even more stuff about Warren. You know, because he can't hit us back. So
Yeah, I heard that. I heard the, and I saw Warren's face too.
Warren's like, wait, I'm in Baltimore. We're still doing live gigs. I can go out. That ain't a problem.
That's right.
You know, when
Warren's like, y'all the ones cooped up. I'm
That's
out
right.
here gigging.
I'm out here shutting.
that's right. When the NBA said Rudy Gobert, they shut it down. Warren was gigging.
I know. Warren's like, it ain't over. It ain't over. It's just getting started.
oh man.
Okay, so
I'm not letting this slow me down. But go ahead.
What is everybody's? We talk about this a lot individually, and it comes up, and people are always asking us. But what do you guys each think in terms of like when is the next time we are going to be on stage together playing music? Like what's the over under on that on a date for Inside Straight playing together on the same stage?
What you think, Dre?
Dre might actually know. He might have an exact date in mind, you know.
Right.
Hey, I can get y'all a gig tomorrow
in Baltimore before 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Right.
Warren texted me this morning. He said, "Hey, we meeting tonight. Can you get everybody to get in Baltimore tomorrow?"
we leaving tomorrow.
We're leaving tomorrow.
Right before me.
Yeah, but I know y'all ain't leaving the house, so.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, are there any other venues open that y'all know of?
Not letting people in.
Yeah.
You know, you can
Right,
play to an
not with
empty
an
audience.
audience.
I heard that it's a spot in Chicago, the Andes. I heard that they're open.
With
You mean like
audience?
allowing
With the
like
live
letting
audience?
people in?
With the audience.
Wow.
I think it's Andes.
They ain't gonna last long.
But I heard, you all know Dewey. You know, my buddy Dewey. He's been out on the road with it. He used to drive bus for the lead singer of Rascal Flatts. So Diamond Coach that has a lot. They located in Nashville. And he told me the other day that that Live Nation, which does a lot of the gigs for those country acts that are down there, they said that they heard from Live Nation that the earliest that those gigs will be open again will be late April next year. Early.
Yeah.
Well, they ain't gonna be doing no jazz gigs even then. Live Nation ain't doing no jazz gigs.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It never will.
Never will, pandemic or not.
Hey, I see a Not Cohen on here. What's up, baby?
Not.
Knots on here.
Not.
See, not said a couple of years. So that's their prediction.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Hope before then.
I'm on stage next week.
Yeah, all right.
There he is.
I'm gonna find the gig. Somewhere. I'm keeping
gonna
my
make
chops
a
up.
gig.
I'll make a gig. I'll play in front of my house.
Hey, so Warren, do you miss the gigs more or the gym?
Think about
You
it.
want to open up first.
No,
Yeah,
you're
right.
No. See,
You're
it's
back in the
different here in
gym, right?
Baltimore. The gyms are open.
Are you going to the gyms?
No, I bought weights.
You know what?
I have
You said
weights
he
here in the
bought
house.
weights.
I bought weights.
Oh.
I have weights here in the house.
So he's socially distancing from the gym, but he's all up in the club.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I see y'all.
No, man.
Y'all mess around here.
yeah.
No, I can't remember who I was telling the other day. I picked up a serious love of hiking over this pandemic. I've been going up into the hills. I haven't been to any serious mountains yet, but I've been hitting it. So
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, Wolf.
Speaking of non sequiturs, huh,
Hiking shoes
McBride?
I like hiking. Y'all like hiking?
no, get into it, man. It's really nice. This is when I hike. That's my time. That's my time for shedding.
Actually, you guys, if you got anybody working out or wanting to get into workout, follow Warren and follow Andre on Strava. You can get a lot of inspiration and some funny Warrenisms sometimes as well. But you can get some good stuff. Are you on Strava too, Carl?
No.
Okay. But
I'll tell you what I just got. Y'all be seeing this on social media soon. I just got my heavy bag. I'm gonna be here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, y'all.
Oh,
Look
There
out.
he goes.
That's why I got my picture of Ali back behind me.
Hey,
nice. Is he gonna go in the?
Watch out now.
I was out there on the road tearing it up. Get it, Carl.
Hey, speaking of
I got a
boxing,
speed bag too.
this is a very quick segue. Not to get into a big topic about it, but you see, Tyson's fighting Roy Jones.
Wait a minute. Is that really happening?
Yeah.
Like live or on Zoom?
Oh no, really?
It's an exhibition fight.
Yeah.
I hope they wearing headgear.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So.
Oh man.
So Steve, what do you think New York City in terms of? I did tune in 2 weeks ago to the Vanguard, the Joe Lovano live stream. That was very interesting. I mean, of course, there was no audience and it was trio, and it's kind of shocking. Yeah, it was killing. I mean, the sound, the video, everything, but it was shocking to like be there, during this time. But what do you think the timeline's like in terms of NYC?
I mean, I was thinking, well, if we're talking about a full audience, even a partial audience, I would think March or April, because Broadway is shut down. We know at least through January. Right. So that's kind of my barometer. So I would think that realistically, even if we were to reboot in say February, I think realistically for everyone just to kind of get accustomed to it and feel good about it. And of course, if we have a vaccine and all the other particulars, I would think, April. I'm hopeful for April. If we can get it before then, that's great. But realistically, though, Carl, didn't you just do one? Didn't you just do a streamcast?
Yeah, I did a stream last weekend at Smoke.
How did it go?
It was fun. I mean, they got all new mics and cameras and all of that. It felt weird, man, because you finish a tune and there's no applause. So after about the third tune, I was like, okay, it's just like a record date,
You're right.
Yeah.
But it just felt good to play,
Right.
Other than the thing that we did, McBride, first time I played with somebody since March 9th.
Right.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw the advertisement you made, Peter. Looks good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, we got McBride. We got to talk about a title. Oh, we might have to do like how you did for Inside Straight. Inside Straight, get some requests for names for your new course on Open Studio.
Oh gosh.
My
Lord have mercy.
My wife, who is not known for bless her soul, but she's not known for great titles. She's already working on like Basecamp, anything, you base it on. I was like, we're not looking for a slogan. We're looking for a name for the course. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, so Carl and Christian recorded his course together on the second day, and I've already seen some of the video. It's super fun and exciting, and that was your guys' first time playing live with anybody. Well, we in the studio, social distancing and all that, but that was your guys' first time, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And actually,
how many records have y'all played on together, McBride, you and Carl?
Say that again, Dre.
How many records have y'all done together, you and Carl?
I got to tally that up. Somewhere in the 50s, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, that's substantial.
That's 50 albums, y'all, not the 1950s. Just to correct you. Just make sure, I always have my kids up here tease, like whenever me and Kelly talk about, but remember in the 90s, like, ooh, the 90s, ooh. I'm like, the 90s? Right. I'll tell you about the 70s and the 80s. The 90s were hip. I can go way back.
90s were happening.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking about, what was the other thing on the terms of non-sequitur? Oh, we were talking about the last time we played together in South Carolina, but now we're remembering, was Phoenix at the Nash? Was that after or was that before?
That was after.
Was it?
Was that January?
That was January, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I think.
Yeah.
But there was another gig too. What was?
Oh, Tucson.
Yeah, we did Phoenix and somewhere else.
Tucson
yeah.
and Phoenix.
That's right. Yeah, Tucson.
Tucson. Up in the hills of Tucson.
That's right.
Right.
We were in
That was the
San
night
Francisco,
before.
weren't we, McBride? We were coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I forgot where we were, but because you had something else you were doing. Yeah, I think I can't all come together.
Yeah. Who else were we? Because I remember somebody was hanging there was another band we were hanging with in the lobby in Tucson. Somebody was there hanging with us.
Because it's part of a festival.
Right.
Sort of. Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
Well, I remember you did a thing with the big band. The kids you played with them, and they played your arrangement.
Right.
With Bryce
And they killed it
Winston.
too.
Yeah.
That's a great
Right.
band.
Also, with the young lady that was playing piano, she was killer.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we
Great
had all
time.
that food backstage we couldn't finish. Warren took it.
Yeah.
Took it all home.
Not that night.
That was a nice hotel. Remember that hotel in? Oh no, that was in. that one was nice too.
Yeah, it's like a resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
right.
was happening.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was I remember that.
Yeah. We act like it's
Oh,
like
Louis Nash
11
sat
years
in with
ago.
us
Yeah,
at the
Yep.
Yeah,
when
at
we
the
played
Nash.
That's right.
Yep.
Mhm.
they had them pictures of James
owned the
Brown and
joint.
Monk in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Monk, James Brown, and I think Aretha Franklin or
Aretha
something like that on the
Franklin,
wall.
Yeah.
That was hip.
Yeah, and of course Nash's
Nash.
brother came out. His brother came
Oh,
out.
that's why he brought all that peach
That's
cobbler.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Peach Cobbler
Yep.
and all the kebabs. Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
was
was
gonna say,
down.
of course, Nash said it. He owned the joint.
They gonna kick the man out of his own joint.
Yeah, that's his club. It's called the Nash.
That's
Oh,
when
man.
what's name came and hung out. What's her name?
Yeah, Jennifer Hartswick.
Yeah, Jen Hartswick.
Jennifer came. All the cats from Trey's band showed up, I think, that night.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't Homero
You-
show
you-
up?
you-
that night?
Romero was there
Romero
too.
showed
Yeah, Romero.
Yeah,
Romero
yeah.
showed up.
Oh,
And
man.
Your boy,
you
your boy
forgetting one.
James showed up, Warren.
You're forgetting one good sit in Lettucey.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
When we were down in St. Lucia.
St.
Yeah.
Lucia with
Oh
the Jazz
yeah,
Police.
Lettucey killed it.
Yeah.
Now see that
Oh, that was
one story we can't tell, but I'll just say the name for y'all. Y'all crack up is Les McCann.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't there on that one.
Now, see, you can't. Yeah, but you smelled it. No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that was an out night. That was an out night.
Oh man.
No, that's a no, like McBride. Tell not the story, but the hang. How many people have actually peeked their heads back into that dressing room?
Man, that was so embarrassing.
No, I'm just talking about how many,
in
just all the folks that from LA, you know, the famous crowd, if you will, of all the folks who come.
Well, I mean, LA is always
remember when
a
Witherspoon
man.
came back there? God,
So who's that?
Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon came one night. Morgan Freeman came one night.
Just Cheeto was always there.
Yeah, Don Cheeto always comes out. You know, all them jazz lovers in LA, man, it's beautiful, man. They will support that music, man.
Right. Because they ain't got
They
none
go
out
and
there.
hang.
Right. Just kidding. Love you, LA. My love.
Howard Hessman always
You're
comes out.
gonna remember that.
Right. Craig Robinson.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
That's right.
Yeah.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, Malcolm always hangs out.
And those two guys are actual musicians. Musicians.
Close.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Similar.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So
no, Joe, we're not telling the Les McCann story.
It'll just have to be suspended.
You open up the can of worms now.
Well, you know, you just kind of put it out there to create some suspense, you know.
You're right.
I just wanted to say it so you all will remember and laugh.
That's right.
Yeah. So the album that we played the track off of is called People Music, and there is a link below in the description if you'd like to check that out, pick that up. You know, we used to be like, you know, no one's buying albums, records anymore, CDs, anything. But the pandemic, man, people are doing all sorts of stuff they didn't normally do. So you can go buy a CD. You can buy. Actually, is People Music on LP? Or is that just Kind of Brown?
No, yeah, only Kind of Brown.
Okay, but you can check out Kind of Brown if you get a chance after People Music.
You know, there's music in the can from you guys that has not been released.
Man, that's a deep can that you hid way underground somewhere.
No,
apparently.
It's the Vanguard.
Oh, it's the Vanguard.
Yeah,
that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
So
but I'm saying why is it hid so deeply?
Well, I mean, because McBride,
there's other stuff there.
3 albums a year.
It's a big pile of other stuff on top of it. So that's live at the Vanguard. That's from like, what was that, like 2016 or 17, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
This video also, right? In the Vanguard?
No?
Did we do some video?
Oh, remember they tried the 360 camera?
Right.
When we were there. I think that's still up on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I got plenty of videos of my solos.
I was gonna say Warren's got a lot of video from the Vanguard.
I got plenty of myself.
Man, I gotta tell you, there's nothing like you know, sitting comping at the Vanguard. You know, we're all close, tight in there. You know, behind a killing Steve Wilson solo, followed by a killing Warren Wolf solo, and then like I gotta play a solo, knowing there's about to be a killing McBride and Carl Allen solo coming up after that. But like on top of all that, Warren finishes solo. I start soloing. I see kind of out of the corner of my eye Warren going over and turning his phone off as soon as I start soloing. I ain't wasting my bandwidth on you.
Nah, what it is, it's too long of a clip to put on Facebook. You know I love you.
Well, see, yeah, I mean, Peter, I remember seeing that. Like, I'm like, what's he got? Okay, he's recording the gig. All right, cool, no problem. But then I see like he would always cut it off after the solo. I'm like, what you doing, man?
He's getting the best of compilation.
Right.
No, No, instead of the best of Warren Wolf, it's called the best of Inside Straight.
Man, actually, some of my favorite videos of this band that I've seen are there's the entire concert, and then I guess different people chopped it up or whatever. But remember the gig in San Javier, Spain, when it was like 110 degrees
that's
out.
When you wore the dashiki.
the big dashiki.
Right.
Yeah, the caftan. That's the only time I ever wore that.
But remember, we came out of the lobby, we were laughing at McBride. We were like, really, you're going to wear that? But then we got on that hot ass stage, and we all had like jeans or jacket, suits or whatever. This cat was flowing with plenty of ventilation, and we were hot as.
Did you have some sandals?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all like Isaac Hayes and hot buttered soul. What's the name? What's the one where he was dressed like Jesus on the thing, and it opened up to like.
Yeah, it was Black Moses.
Black Moses.
Black Moses.
Yeah. Yeah, all I needed was the hood behind my joint.
Right.
I remember I remember Kevin Mahogany was on that festival. And I think he was Bernard Purdy playing with him?
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, Purdy was backstage. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, I think
Oh,
I
man.
Pretty Purdy.
Saying Javier.
Oh, look out.
Now there he is.
God bless you, bro.
That's the one and only time I ever wore that caftan.
Wow.
Woo, out of tune. Piano.
This-
Dang!
Look at
Are we supposed to be listening to something, Peter?
Oh, can you hear it?
Damn, look at Warren. Warren like he's 12.
Can you guys hear that?
No.
Talking mess too.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. I got to do it again. You guys got to hear this. It's actually killing, but the piano's so out of tune. Hold up. Wait.
McBride look like he in the nation.
You like bean pies?
No, that's right. That's probably deeper than the nation.
There we go.
I look like the African exchange student in trading places on the train.
Hey, Peter, it's not playing, Peter.
You still can't hear it?
No.
No.
Oh, man. Oh, well. Well, hold up.
Is that Ben back there?
Yeah. I think so.
Man, what year is this from?
That's like 09, right?
Is that, oh, Jesus.
I think
I
that
don't know why
was
I can't
that
hear
first tour.
I'm going to try one more time.
Yeah, was that the Peter Martin escort tour?
Oh, come on. See, why you got to be that? Why you got to be all that?
McBee, now, was that one of your travel? Was that your travel base?
Clean that up.
No, you weren't traveling with a travel base back then.
No, that was the base du jour.
Oh wow.
Based du jour.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody put a question on Facebook the other day. How are you, Christian? How would you feel about playing rental bases once this is over?
Play what kind of bases?
Rental bases.
I mean, I kind of been doing that already too.
What are you talking about with the virus on
I'm
it?
talking about with the virus on it. That's what I'm asking. How do you feel? Like same thing with you, Peter, and to a certain degree, Carl.
I don't want to play any rental bases.
Well, no. I mean, who's to say people are really cleaning the instruments? I mean, somebody posted the question. They was like, I don't know about this.
Oh, cleaning instruments? I mean, look. I can't imagine I would get sick playing on a rental. I mean, believe me, that I'll take some all kinds of rubbing alcohol and all kinds of stuff to a bass that I would borrow, and still have my mask on too. But I ain't gonna be, as long as you don't put your hands in your mouth and your eyes and up your nose. It should be cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, this travel base I've been using all these years, I mean, that really seems to it seems to work just fine. But I mean, it's probably more risky for you, Peter, than it would be for me.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like by the time we're just playing on different instruments and traveling, I mean, the other risks are going to be probably mitigated before. I mean, we're going to be traveling and worried about that. Seems like it'd be the least of our worries at that point. Audience, other band members, that kind of thing. I mean, down at the studio, we've been like, I've actually been having to get the piano tuned quite a bit, and my tuner, just I've been playing it more than ever, but I'm like the only one in there. But she comes in, she's got her own key, and it's great. I'm so grateful that she's coming into work and stuff, but she like wipes it down before and then wipes it down to the point where like the keys feel, between that and just washing my hands all the time, I've gotten a little less.
Right.
Like at the beginning, I was washing my hands so much, the piano always was feeling different, like something about, so that, I mean, I'm not saying before the pandemic I didn't wash my hands when I was like dapping y'all up. I was washing them, just not as often,
Right.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. You know what? I think YouTube's blocking me from playing the audio on that. That's what it is.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell them the copyright holder is here.
I know, exactly. Well, I'm glad. I mean, I played the album. I know I'm going to get copyright strikes. So hopefully, Dre, you can approve, because we played a track off the album. Whenever we do that, we get copyright strikes.
That's why Warren said play his joint.
Right.
Warren will be like, play my joint, and he'll put a copyright strike in against me as it's playing. He'll be like,
That's right.
Yeah, man. Well, we got anything else we want to put out there and tell the folks, man? I appreciate everybody I appreciate you guys, man, so much. I'm thinking about you all the time. It's like, I can't wait to get back out there. That goes without saying, but just
Ditto, Peter.
Likewise.
Absolutely.
I appreciate so much, like, even during this time of a pause, I feel like you're with me, because I'll think of something. I'll think of something that Steve played or Warren said about bread, or whatever, it'll be. No, but I mean, I can't tell you how much your musicianship and humanity has informed me, and sometimes it's like you got to kind of take a little bit of a pause. This is a terrible thing we're going through, but for a little silver lining for me, it's just to have a chance to kind of reflect and appreciate, because, like Warren was saying, and like everybody was saying, we've been going at it. Like, we're all going to do other things, but we're constantly moving and stuff. And this band has always been sort of a safe, happy place of just like growth and joy. It almost seems like it should be illegal what we're doing, because we're having so much fun, and I think playing really well, and folks really enjoy it. But it's almost kind of like you look around like, are they going to keep letting me do this? It's so perfect in so many different ways.
No, it is special. And you know what? Think about this. There's not too many bands on the planet that have been together this long.
Right.
That's a rare thing these days, man. So it's like, it's more than a band, it's family.
Yeah.
And even when we're not together, we are together.
Yeah.
So.
And we've never had a fight.
That's right.
No.
That's right. No weird stuff.
Warren has tried. He's baited us so many times.
You're right. Yeah.
That's right.
He'll dangle it out there like, we won't bite though.
Right. So this is an interesting comment, do an online set. Like, I think most people have figured out now, playing music when you're in separate places, like talking, you can do it and deal with the lag. It's very, actually, if you guys get a chance, check out Christian's video on NPR. That's on NPR YouTube channel, right?
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
Christian did a great breakdown. This, like, I thought I knew about I kind of have a technology company. I learned a lot from this video. I was like, but he did it just a few days ago about latency and how musicians are trying to overcome that in the online space right now, and collaborate and stuff. It's a really fun, well-produced, informative video. But
I guess P. Geronimo hasn't seen that yet.
Yeah, exactly. But doing something online together, I think that I'm hoping that'll probably happen, or maybe be the kind of the first step back before we can actually play for an audience. Look, Warren's like, I'm ready now. I can deal with the lag. I'm like Jacob Collier, man. I ain't got a problem with that.
I'm doing it for Carl.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we give no thanks.
Yeah.
And you see how that elicits
Well,
the
hold
same
on, but-
dance out of all of us? It's like there's only one dance for
But
me.
Peter, you were supposed to do something with that. What happened?
I mean, if when Chris, I mean, I don't want to call him out, but when I don't get the video from Christian, it kind of, we can't quite.
I only heard from two people. I was like, so, I mean, I couldn't start it myself. One of y'all had to start it.
It's still in production. That's what we're saying, Carl. That's what's happening.
You know,
Oh, okay.
I'm down to do it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So that's gonna be like a collaborative from afar. But yeah, it would be interesting to do something. I don't know about with the audience in Baltimore folks and all that, but but to do something. But I think all of us having done different things now online, be it solo or with the group, it's there's a learning curve on that. Like no audience, like they're there. But what I find is like you got to imagine them and just hope that. I mean, it's not like when we play, we're like feeding off. It's not feeding off the clapping and the applause. It's really what I found is it's feeding off the actual energy of the audience. And I remember I used to hear older musicians when I first was coming up, and they're like, "You got to tap into the energy of the audience." I was like, "Man, that's just because you're old and you're tired. You don't know what you're talking about." I'm young and angry, and I want to play jazz. But I really feel like now, and I think we've all felt that the energy of each other, and then that collaborative thing with the audience. It's a very special thing, and you can do that online, but it's like you're spending energy because you're kind of imagining them listening. And when the sound in the video is right, it can be a wonderful thing and kind of an interim substitute. But we'll see what happens with that. That Joe Lovano said at the Vanguard really kind of, it was so enthralling and just pulled you in so much. It was kind of shocking in a way, but it was very different. But it's still Joe, and it was cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we got any parting words, gentlemen? Anything we need to? Any big tours coming up or projects? I know Warren's got some stuff.
Yeah, I'm touring my house for the rest of the year.
Right.
Now outside of these couple of live streams I'm doing with Joe a lot next weekend, right before everything, right after everything shut down, I actually managed to record another Mac Avenue record, which is a holiday record, so that'll be out sometime soon. And
Smooth jazz joint.
nah, just straight swing. I mean, it's a little bit of that on there.
Okay.
So Warren, did you finish that before the COVID set in?
I finished this.
No.
No, I did it the third week of March.
Oh wow.
I did it over 2 days. I played my pianist. I won't say his name, but he was nervous about joining us in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So it was double duty for me. Day one, I laid down all piano and Fender Rhodes. Day two, I came in, I did all percussion and vibes and everything else.
Oh, so you were glad he didn't make it.
I know. Yeah, Warren's like, my pianist didn't join us because I threatened him to not join us.
I mean, I really wanted this person to be on the record, but he said he didn't want to do it. So I started to think about other people, but I was like,
I can do this.
pretty
Warren
much.
said, when Warren said, I did a record, he literally meant that. I did a record.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So did you do the tracks all at your house?
No,
Or
it's a place down here. It's a studio in between Baltimore and DC.
Okay.
And besides that, just I think all of us, for the most part, we're getting ready to get back into the classroom in about 4 weeks. So we'll see what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
Right.
Good luck, man. Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Miss you guys. Thanks
Yeah.
for putting us together, Peter.
Yeah,
Oh no, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter. Thank you,
No,
man. It was
Thank
beautiful.
all you guys, and thanks Christian for putting for the OG idea of putting this band together, and thank you Steve, Carl, Warren, Andre, Christian, all of you so much, and thank you guys all for joining us for this hang. Because we're always like, man, if we don't have our instruments and playing, how charming and interesting are we? Pretty damn charming, as you know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so thank you guys for being here, and let's do this again. Let's do this again if you guys are available.
Well, we got to check Warren's schedule first.
I know exactly. Well, that's the thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm working over here, baby.
All right, guys. Well, have a great evening. Thanks everybody for joining us, and link below to check out the album if you want to hear some of us in this interim pause period. And peace to everybody.
Peace and love, everybody.
All righty. Absolutely.